Hey everyone, welcome to episode 57 of the Return Policy, and today I wanted to do another preview episode of any recent announcements post E3 2019 that may have caught my eye for accessories, piqued my interest for anything new that I could do any mini reviews on, or even simply a new console that Nintendo may not have announced. They did announce very recently. So I just wanted to do this cool little preview episode for you now. So the first thing that caught my eye when it was announced was the Hori Split Pad Pro. That was an officially licensed kind of a Joy-Con replacement for the Nintendo Switch. And it's supposed to be in conjunction with the release of the Daemon X Machina game that's coming out for the Nintendo Switch as well. And so I was instantly intrigued by the commitment by Hori to create these two big halves, essentially, of the Joy-Con controllers that maybe work pretty well with my kind of ginormous hands, and so I can get, kind of the most functionality out of it. But without a doubt, it definitely piqued my interest. I just wanted to test out and hopefully do a mini review on this type of controller that's coming out for the Nintendo Switch. The next two announcements were from Nyko, and even though I've done quite a few reviews on Nyko products, well, they've kind of had their ups and downs, including, the kickstand, but I had liked some previous products they made for the Nintendo Switch, including the swivel grips. And so this year they announced two accessories that I was definitely interested in. One was the DPad case, which is essentially a protective case for your Nintendo Switch, but it also has that added gimmick for the Joy-Cons. It replaces the four buttons that's supposed to mimic a D-pad on your Joy-Con, puts an actual D-pad on your Joy-Con. And so the other Nintendo Switch accessory announced by Nyko were the Dualies. And so these were essentially designed to kind of provide a cost-effective version of the Joy-Cons. And the nice part, although it costs about half the price of your usual Joy-Cons, you can kind of tell it's one of those sets of controllers that you kind of hand off to a friend or a sibling or a family member, and you want to keep the official controller and kind of hand them, the kind of extra controller that you wouldn't want to be caught using yourself. But I do want to applaud Nyko for kind of giving that option, a definitely much more price conscious option, and as well would like to do a mini review on this one as well too. The fourth on the list of accessories that I want to try out is from one of my favorite companies, PDP, and they have announced the PDP Faceoff Deluxe Plus Audio Wired Controller. And so I was definitely intrigued by this gimmick that it finally allows you to plug in some headphones as well as, a headset, so you can use it with a controller while you're playing, docked on your TV. And so while unfortunately the Pro controller or even the separate Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons does not allow you to plug in any separate headphones other than using a Bluetooth adapter that I've kind of reviewed in the past, the wired controller from PDP does allow you to plug in a headphone directly into it while you're using, a standard controller. Now, the only downside is that it uses a wired, so it looks like you do have to physically plug in the controller to the Nintendo Switch itself, rather than just being a truly wireless controller that offers audio capabilities. But it's a good try, and I think I might want to do a mini review on that in the near future. And finally, leave it to Nintendo to actually provide an announcement, not only for an accessory for the Nintendo Switch, but a revision for the Nintendo Switch in the form of the Nintendo Switch Lite. And so over the last couple days, I was kind of really thinking about it and kind of justifying it as a current Nintendo Switch owner. Does this kind of fit what I want to see in a revised Nintendo Switch? Well, not necessarily. I wouldn't mind a few more gimmicks rather than taking away certain features. But to be honest, the $100 price cut from the normal $299 US Nintendo Switch down to $199 US Nintendo Switch Lite, they definitely made the cuts in hardware functionality to make use of that price cut. And so if I had to think about it, may work like everyone kind of says. It works great for kids or even for a second Switch. The loss of the TV out functionality is kind of a huge blow. But saying that, if I had to kind of retrospectively think, I spend about 90% of my time with my Nintendo Switch, kind of separate as in that portable mode. And so the more I think about it, they're kind of catering to that side of the, the fan base, the audience, that, hey, maybe they don't want to plug it into a TV and use it primarily as an on-the-go machine. Now, I hope it does have a standard rumble. I really do love the rumble features, just regular old rumble features on the Nintendo Switch while portable. And I know they have taken out the HD rumble, and if that's all encapsulating, that kind of stinks if there's no rumble at all. But I do think it's a very smart decision by Nintendo. They're catering to both crowds that want something a little bit more full featured and software that'll take advantage of it, kind of like the rumble, kind of like the IR sensor, especially if you want to use it with Labo. But at the same time, they want to go for that lower market, and say the newer consoles from other companies are coming out soon, so they want to kind of hit that decent price point, especially during the holidays, if I want to get very businessy about it. And so yeah, leave it to Nintendo to make that kind of decision where they kind of know what they're doing. I don't want to second guess any kind of future success that they will most likely will have with the Nintendo Switch Lite. And so I wanted to bring this one up into the preview episode and kind of just go over and admittedly say that, yep, I'm probably going to pick one up myself. I am leaning heavily toward turquoise. And I'll probably try and do a slightly mini review version of that console as soon as I get the chance to. Anyways, that's it for me. I just wanted to do a kind of mini preview episode similar to what I've done in past years, and anything that I caught my eye during or after the E3 season, and kind of talk about what I wanted to do or hope to do a mini review in the future on. Other than that, thanks again for taking the time to watch this little video of mine, not a review, but just this little video of me just kind of talking about what I'm interested in. And if you thought if any of this was future informative, please feel free to hit that like button. If you thought that, the Nintendo Switch Lite, forget about it, go ahead and hit that dislike button. That's cool too. Other than that, if you plan on sticking around with me for that semi-long run, I want to do as many of these kind of mini videos, mini reviews, and all sorts of things as much as I can. Please feel free to hit that subscribe button as well too. Other than that, thanks again for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you next time. Bye.